Hello, welcome back to Everyday Magic. I'm Jess, and today I want this to be a very integrated, immersive experience for you to really support you in finally doing the thing, finally showing up for yourself, finally just saying yes, going after, getting the motivation, having the focus, whatever it may be, so that you can do and accomplish and finally live as that person that you want to be. I was chatting with a friend recently and they were like, I just got to do it. I got to force myself. I got to find the time. I got to figure out. I just got to do it. Right? I don't need to get into the details of what it is, but it was a rhetoric and kind of a similar story that I've heard, not just from that friend, but that I hear from everyone. And I hear it multiple times because no matter how desperately we want to change our lives, no matter how desperately we want to do something different, to show up in a different way, to, do things in a way that we actually feel really good about, we think that in laying down the law, right? Like I just got to do it and I got to find the motivation, and I got to find the time, and it doesn't matter. We think that kind of talking to ourselves in that way is the way that we make the change. And it's actually what is keeping you exactly where you are. So I want to break this down a little bit for you today. And I want to give you some actual practices to support you in finally doing whatever it is. It doesn't matter if it's you want to lose weight, you want to get a new job, the myriad of other things that we're trying to do, starting a business, writing a book, starting a podcast, whatever it may be. We are going to get into the nitty gritty of what is actually holding you back. And how do we finally push beyond those limitations that our own mind puts on us, right? That it's that our own mind is making up. So, first, I want you to just take a nice deep breath with me. And just being here with me, just allowing yourself to slow down. Again, if you want to save this video and come back to it, again, I'm going to be giving you the actual tips and tricks to finally do the thing that you want to do, that you've been saying that you're going to do. And this doesn't happen just by listening to the things that I'm saying. I want you to slow down. I want you to kind of integrate some of this. I want you to go a little bit deeper. This is going to be a little bit of a different video where I'm not just talking nonstop. I'm going to be taking pauses to allow for you to reflect, etc. So if this isn't the right time, again, pause it or listen to it and then come back to it. Whatever resonates and feels good for you. But again, I don't want you to just listen to it. I want you to integrate it, because I know how frustrating it feels when you want something, but you're not making the changes that you need to get it. You're not taking the action that you need to take to get that. It is so frustrating, right? I have been there. So now let's really dive into it, okay? So again, just take another deep breath in, just being here in this moment, just being here with me. And anytime you do this, maybe you already have a little bit of a meditation practice, but we're just bringing ourselves back to center. We're just coming back to this present moment, right? It's very easy to just get swept away in the noise of the mind. And that noise keeps us taking the same action and doing the same thing. And it becomes this vicious cycle and loop. So anytime, just coming back to your center. And that's a beautiful practice no matter what you're doing, right? Just being mindful, taking mindful breaths. Knowing that it's okay to just give yourself this time, giving yourself permission to slow down. That can be really hard for a lot of us, we are in that constant mode of feeling like we need to be producing. It goes much deeper. We find value subconsciously in our achievement, in our producing of things, in our doing, in our action, right? So sometimes it's like we really have to give ourselves permission to slow down because we're like running on this operating system that we're not valuable if we slow down. And if that's coming up for you, I want to just ask you, do you 100% know with certainty, right? With 100% certainty that that's true, right? Is it 100% true that if you slow down, if you give yourself permission, if you take a few minutes to just breathe and be and rest, that you're not valuable, right? Do you know that with 100% certainty? Just bringing awareness to that. All right, beautiful. Now, as we continue on, I want you to first start to think about some of the thoughts that come up for you when you think about a goal that you have and something that you need to do or take action on in order to achieve that goal, right? So your goal is to lose weight and you have to work out, right? But then you're not working out, right? So kind of just giving yourself again permission to bring more awareness to that. And the key here is doing this without judgment, okay? If you need to, take a deep breath with me. You're safe in this moment. There is no judgment. You do not need to judge yourself. There is nothing wrong with the fact that you haven't done the thing that you want to do, the thing that you feel like you need to do, that you should do, okay? That is something that our mind is telling us, and we'll get into that a little bit more. But again, just coming here with me, because come back to your breath, come back to your breathing when you start to feel yourself getting swept up or overwhelmed or overstimulated in the judgment that you have for yourself, okay? This is a judgment-free zone here, folks. So just breathing, okay? Again, I used an example of working out. Maybe you want to find a new job, but you're so busy. Like life is super busy. Your work is really busy. You feel really stressed. You feel really overwhelmed. How are you finding the time to then look for a job or update your resume when you don't have time, right? I'm just using some of these examples to activate whatever it is for you, okay? Activating that story that you're playing out in your own mind, okay? Whatever that is, again, just getting curious, just bringing it to our awareness. Just breathing whenever you need to. Just gonna keep giving you some moments here. Now, if you want to take this a step further, again, you can pause this video here or come back to it. If you are able to just like grab a pen and paper, and again, I do really love like writing versus being on the phone, okay? There is a different mental connection that we make when we write things out. So even if for you in this moment, maybe you want to simply give yourself like 60 to 90 seconds to just go on a rampage about all the things that you're frustrated with about yourself, right? Like, I stay up too late, scrolling on social media, and then I'm exhausted in the morning, even though I want to get up and go to the gym. And I tell myself every morning I'm going to get up and go to the gym, but I'm exhausted because I stayed up too late. And now I didn't get up. I kept hitting snooze. And now I'm up and I have to get ready for work, and I'm just frustrated. And I do this every single day. Why can't I change? Right? Like that language. I want you to just let that get activated in you without judgment, okay? The way that we move through this is by embracing these parts of ourselves that we are judging. And that is the super secret trick, and that's all it is. And it gets to be so easy when we can approach it with just curiosity, just bringing awareness to it without judging ourselves. So again, if you want to pause this video and just take a few seconds to go ahead and write that out. Even if you don't, I encourage you to come back to this, journal about it, reflect on it. It really, again, just starts to bring awareness in a non-judgmental way to our actions, to the patterns of our actions. And again, there's nothing wrong with it when we can look at this and see it and allow ourselves to kind of be frustrated with ourselves or just kind of be gentle with ourselves in that way. That is the key. Like, that is the beginning to how we start to shift this. Okay. So again, just giving yourself a second to kind of sit with that, to reflect on it, to breathe if you need. Lots of breathing. Just coming back to your own truth, coming back to your breath, grounding in that, coming back to this moment. You are safe. You are loved. Everything in this moment is okay. All right. Now what I want you to do is simply set an intention based on the vision that you have for yourself. So sometimes when we think about manifestation, we cling really tightly to this idea of the future vision. And that is beautiful. And that's definitely one way to approach it, but it doesn't work for everybody. So I want to share an add-on with this vision exercise that I believe works for more people, right? Some people still, have some quirks around this, and that's okay, right? This is not a one size fits all approach, but I want to give you different techniques and practices, and you can try things on and see what works for you. And again, just bringing that awareness to yourself around what feels good, where you're getting stuck. That is the key to making the changes that you ultimately want to make, and therefore achieving and doing the things that you ultimately want to do. So with that, again, what is this vision? Okay. Maybe you really want to get a new job. The job that you have now is just not fulfilling for you. It's really stressful. You're just, you just know that there's something better out there for you, something that feels much more aligned for you, maybe something where you're making more money, or again, just something where you're doing more of what you love. Okay. So connecting to that vision in this moment. Okay, just connecting to that vision. It's so simple. What does that look like? Right? Are you going into an office? Are you working outside? Are you working in your home? Right? What types of people are you interacting with, right? Do you see yourself more just kind of interacting with coworkers? Are you interacting with the community or the public or, customers in kind of that type of sense? Get really clear about your vision. And even more importantly, allow yourself to feel the way you think this new, ideal, aligned, like beautiful, wonderful, amazing job is. Focusing on the feeling. You don't have to, and sometimes it's actually better to not try to make total sense of what this job precisely is. Okay? This is especially true if you feel like you're lacking some clarity around what you want or what you think you want to do next, or you're just not sure, you want to change. Focus on that feeling. Okay? When you're focusing on the feeling, sometimes I like to close my eyes during this, but again, you do whatever feels good for you. As you're focusing on that feeling, let that feeling grow. Let it expand. Like, I want you to be in it. Maybe you have a huge smile on your face because you just cannot believe that you are doing this job that is so much fun, that feels so fulfilling, that feels so good to you. Right? Letting that feeling expand. And then from this place of expansion, simply see if anything intuitively comes up. And it may not this time, okay? Again, this is a practice, and it doesn't mean that something's just going to turn on right away. So don't judge yourself if it doesn't, okay? But just intuitively see, is there like a vision that kind of sparks within you? A place, a city, someone, right? Maybe there's someone in your past that suddenly comes to your mind. Maybe, they have an idea that could align with you. Maybe they know of someone, right? Don't discount this. When we are in a relaxed and heightened state of emotion, right? We're tapping into that joy, that excitement, that enthusiasm based on our own feelings. We're open to new awarenesses, new ideas, new creative thoughts. Don't underestimate this, okay? So again, in this moment, and of course going forward, just having this be part of your daily practice. Okay, so just sitting with that vision. And again, you can always pause this. You can always come back to it. Just noticing whatever wants to come up. All right, now I want you to write out this vision. That's it. I want you to just write out the vision. Again, don't get hung up on what this looks like. Don't get so hung up on the specifics, like a specific job or a specific thing. Sometimes when we do that, we limit what is available to us, because then our mind, right, we're so set on like looking for this specific thing, right? We want a red car. We're so like, we want the red car, we want the red car, we want the red car. When really there's like this white car that's like an even better car than we could have imagined with this red car, but we're blocking this like amazing luxury, fancy white car coming into our life because it's not red, right? Like that might be kind of a silly example, just to kind of make it make sense a little bit, right? So let's not get so focused on what we think something needs to look like or how it needs to happen, or of course the limitations around it, that we're blocking the other things from coming in. So when you're writing down your vision, don't let that hang you up. That's all I'm saying. Focus on how you want to feel. Focus on like the work you're doing, meaning like, is it fulfilling? It feels aligned. It feels easy. I feel like I'm in flow. I feel connected to my coworkers, or I feel like I'm just doing something really purposeful. Again, you use your own language, whatever is important to you. Focusing on that. Okay? So you're going to write this vision down. Again, pause it if you're doing now and you want to stick with it, or come back. All right? So now I want you to read through this vision. And I want you to just notice, just bring your attention to any of the buts that come up, any of the shoulds, any of the doubts, any of those limiting beliefs, right? This could sound like, I'll never be able to find this job, or this sounds great, but I'm never going to make the money that I need to make it, like with a job that I love, right? This could sound like, I'm too lazy. I never get out of bed in the morning to do the workout, right? I want you to, again, reflect, ideally write, on all of those limitations, all of those stories that you are consciously and unconsciously buying into. Okay? Now I want you to take it a step farther. So after you've written all of these out, I want you to simply read through them. And I want you to start with the one that feels like the most activated to you. And when I say activated, I mean, you're like, yeah, that's the one. That's the story that I keep telling myself. Or maybe it's just like a feeling like you get fired up, or right, like you'll know that one that feels the most alive, the truest one to you, right? I want you to start to question the validity of it, right? Is it true? Are you a lazy person, right? Is it true that you won't find your dream job and make the money you want to make? Okay. This step is so important. And again, approaching it with curiosity, approaching it without judgment, because these are the sneaky little beliefs living rent free in your mind that are keeping you from attracting the thing that you want, that are keeping you from taking action towards the things that you want, the goals that you want, the life you want, the life that will make you happy. And it's so sneaky because we have been living with these beliefs for a really, really long time. We don't even realize they're there. And that's why it's so important to write them down. Again, just bringing them to our awareness. The second we start to bring them to our awareness is the second that they lose their power over us. Okay? Do not skip this step. And you can work with the same belief every morning, right? Or you can allow yourself to go deeper, right? Doing a meditation, sitting with a belief, sitting with your vision, whatever feels good for you. You can kind of play around with this practice, but just noticing what's coming up and questioning it. Again, like giving yourself a huge hug, honoring whatever's coming up for you. And then this is really, I don't want to say advanced, it's not hard, but this is really what will start to shift things if you can keep going. What I have mentioned so far is a great start. And actually, before I dive into this kind of deeper step, I want to say, keep that vision by your bed. And I want you to read it every morning and every night. So every night when you go to bed and every morning when you wake up, okay? You're just holding that vision for what you want, okay? Reflecting on it, seeing it, feeling it, okay? When I talk about when we just don't have the motivation to make the change and we don't know what to do about it, this is the perfect start. If you start doing this every night and every morning, you will get the motivation. You will get the motivation. It is that simple. You will be guided to what to do next. You will just have the motivation, okay? You will have the focus. You will have the, like that thing where you're like, now's the time. I'm going to work on my resume. I'm going to get my butt out of bed in the morning, right? But again, in that vision, especially with something like a working out goal, let your vision include that. Let your vision include, I get up 30 minutes early so I can get my workout in and I feel really amazing when I start my day. Okay? It's so simple. It's such an easy step. Write the vision, read the vision. Okay? You don't even have to work out today or tomorrow or the next day. Don't worry about it, right? Let go of the pressure. The pressure and that mental noise and those shoulds and judgment and beating yourself up, that is what's keeping you from doing it. I already said it's like this vicious loop. So just let go of it for right now, okay? Just say, I'm going to start working out as soon as I feel like it, right? Just take the pressure off. I know that seems so counterintuitive and most of you guys are not going to trust me, but give it a try. What else do you have to lose, right? It's not working the other way when you beat yourself up and tell yourself all these things that you need to do. All right, so here is like the deeper dive. For those of you who really want to deepen into this practice, again, this really is the change and the shift that will completely change your life. This is really doing like deeper shadow work, okay? It's great if you can do this on your own. If you need a friend that can really hold space for you, that's super helpful. Or maybe even just like kind of journaling, reflecting, allowing yourself to go deeper and deeper. Or, hiring someone, reaching out to someone who can really hold space for you to go deeper into this practice. Because again, these things are unconscious, right? They're living in the depths of our mind and we don't even realize that they're there. They're hidden, right? We really don't realize. So it really is supportive when you can have someone hold that space to help you go deeper and deeper and, shed light, bring to light some of these things. If you're interested in doing a session like that, I will leave a link in the description box below if you are curious what that is like, or if you just have any questions around, how a session like that goes. But anyway, you can start on your own, okay? You can start to do this. So here is what this is really just kind of how I would even start to guide you is when you sit with, you wrote down those activations, right? Like I'm lazy, I can't get out of bed, or, some of these other stories that you're just telling yourself and you're kind of going into like what's really being activated. Next would be sit with whatever statement, whatever one of those stories really feels alive and activated for you right now, sitting with it. As you sit with it, also sit with whatever emotion wants to rise up, okay? We are greeting this with compassion and curiosity and love. There is no judgment, okay? I'm giving you permission right now to stop judging yourself. You don't need to do that anymore, okay? It's all right. You are all right, okay? So just sitting with that part of you. And as you kind of allow this thought, this story to be activated within you, where are you feeling that? What is it that you're feeling? Is it anger? Is it sadness? Is it frustration? Right? Maybe you feel it like on your chest, like really, really heavy and tight. Maybe you feel like almost a knot in your stomach, like, like you're anxious about it, right? Like you could get sick. Maybe you feel it in your neck and just tension, right? Again, those are just a few examples. Trust your body. Your body has the wisdom. Start trusting yourself. The second you can trust yourself, the second you can be honest with yourself, the second you can kind of start to have this inner dialogue with yourself is the second you will start healing yourself. Okay? You have the ability to do this. Do not underestimate it. We all have it, but it takes slowing down, it takes breathing, it takes coming back to center. Okay? It takes awareness. All right, so again, just going into that part of your body that feels whatever it's feeling without judgment. Again, I like to close my eyes when I'm doing this, just allows me to focus more, but always follow what feels good and true to you. Now, in this moment, again, can you just ask yourself, what does this part of me need? Right? If you can almost zoom out and see this part of you, this sadness part of you, or this anger part of you, or again, whatever it is, you're zooming out and it's no longer like an emotion that you have like kind of connected to, right? That you've like identified with, right? So instead of like, I'm sad, it's like, I see the sadness. Okay, I feel that there is sadness. Okay, zooming out, asking, what does the sadness need? What does the anger need? Okay, and doing this again with so much curiosity, with so much love and compassion, free of judgment, and letting whatever wants to come up, right? Maybe anger wants you to like punch your pillow or like kind of throw a temper tantrum on the floor. I heard that one time I was really frustrated about something and really worked up, and it was like I just wanted to throw a temper tantrum, and I allowed myself to do that, and instantly like my body got hot, and it was like I had to like take off an extra layer, and everything was just like leaving me, right? And that was just the emotion. That was the energetic and emotional release that I needed to have. And it was like instantly I felt better. instantly something shifted. I needed to just have that release. Okay? So for you, can you give that part of you what it needs? It's never outside of ourselves. It always starts in here, right? What does the sadness need? Right? Maybe it needs you to kneel down next to it and give it a huge hug and say, it's okay to be sad. And even though we're sad, we're also strong and brave, and we've got this. And this is all part of our journey, right? We're just honoring everything that wants to come up. And through honoring that, again, we're allowing, if you feel sad, maybe it's you're letting sadness cry. That was a big one for me. I suppressed emotions for a long time. I didn't even realize I was doing it. Right? I spend so much time trying to make everyone else feel okay. I always put on a brave face, but I didn't give those things to myself, right? Like just allowing myself to be sad. But the second I did that, the second I stopped judging myself for those things, and I let myself be sad, I let myself not be okay, everything shifted, everything released. And these are practices. It's not like you do this and then you do this and then you do this. You just constantly do them, right? You listen to your body, you trust yourself. What do you need in this moment, right? Do you need to journal? Do you need to just sit in meditation? Do you need to do some deeper shadow work, right? Or some inner child work? Do you need to just dance and move your body and, like let emotion and energy leave in whatever way feels good in that moment, right? Trusting your body, trusting yourself. There's so much wisdom in there. And not only will you feel better, but this will literally empower you to realize how freaking capable you are to do anything you want. Not only are you capable of doing anything you want, but you're like, oh my gosh, I'm capable of feeling really good. I am capable of loving myself. I'm capable of doing this work that makes me feel really good. And by extension, now I can get my ass out of bed at 5 a.m. to do a workout. And it's not a struggle anymore. I'm actually like wanting to do it. I'm actually having fun. I'm nourishing my body. And then, oh wow, I was capable of losing the 20 pounds, right? This is how it all ties together. And you're not just happy and like loving your life because you lost 20 pounds. You're happy and you're loving your life because you're realizing how freaking capable you are. And that's freaking magic. That's what everyone has available to them. Our capacities are limitless. Do the work. Don't underestimate it. I don't care how tired, how demotivated, how overwhelmed you are. Do these practices, okay? Set aside 10 minutes a day to start. Right? There's no pressure. 5 minutes, right? Starting 5 minutes, do a few deep breaths and some journaling, right? Let it grow. But I promise you, if you do this for yourself, everything will shift. And you will start to live the life you have been wanting to live. You will start to feel the way you have been wanting to feel. The power is yours. The time is now. All right. I'm sending you so much love. I'm sending you so much healing. I'm just sending you hopefully the knowing that I have that you are so much more capable than you are giving yourself credit for. And I hope you look in the mirror at least once today and see that too. Again, sending you so much love. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time.